welcome to Friday night's episode of the Blitz Pickup. We have a few topics tonight, as Rashad posted out in the chat. What the hell do you mean breaking news? Apparently you play to win games, or do you? We also want to talk about, was Brian Flores right about this franchise? And Tony has some things to say at the end, I guess, because who the hell is TFTG? Tony, you can come on up.
Hey, hold on. First of all, before I start my trolling, right? Listen. Oh wait, before I even start anything, listen, man, y'all. Prayers up to my boy Lou. Dealing with some personal issues. May I doubt if he'll be able to stop by today, but he may do. But listen, Lou, prayers to you, man. Hope everything's okay with you. But listen, Jess. I have to represent. So just in case people did, hold on, let me stand up for y'all. I don't know. I'm just doing my part. I'm just doing my part to help out people get more acquainted with TFTG, because apparently people don't know who. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. Jess, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Exhibit A.
Aquavision, Big O, are you getting a visit from the TFTG crew? I have no idea what that is, bro. That went right over my head. Anybody want to fill me in on what the hell do I not know? I don't know what the hell is the TFTG crew is, my brother. You got me there, my man. I'm sorry. I could not pick up on that one.
Okay, I'm sorry. Listen. First of all, listen, man. Listen. Shout out to TFTG. We control. You know what I'm saying. Shout out to the fellas, El Cap, Shake Money, Crypto, Ali. Shout out to everyone over there. Listen, man. We control each other because we rock with each other. But no, man. I'm rocking the shirt to show support. We gonna make sure, if y'all don't know who TFTG is, that's this fans tailgate. That's why I rock the shirt. But listen, man, we gonna get into that a little later. Right now, what you got for me, Jess? What you got?
I don't know. That just took everything for a turn.
Oh, wait. Also, even though we do support, I did watch the show, fellas over there. I will have my rebuttal to what you guys said the other day. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Jess, go ahead.
Oh, I can't wait for you to elaborate on that one. But anyway, okay, so breaking news, right? Rashad, he want to know what the hell you talking about. Breaking news. So apparently we're supposed to play to win games. I don't know. Is that true? Are we supposed to do that? Or is that what we doing?
You know what?
But the greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports.
So that's Herm Edwards. That's a coach, NFL coach in the NFL. I would like to point this out because it's been going back and forth, especially when we start talking about Dan Marino. I'm sorry, I know everyone got in their little feelings about Dan Marino and the things we were pointing out how he didn't win a big one, right? And then I'm listening around, I'm paying attention, and then I started getting a little agitated and irritated about a lot of the excuses that was coming from our fan base. So I think because we have favorite players, and this is not about Dan Marino, this is about people like the Zach Thomases, the Jason Taylors of the world, the Sam Madison, the Patrick Surtains, the Tim Bowens, Daryl Gardner. I'm sorry, Trace Armstrong, like all of the people that we follow, the Brian Coxes. We had Joey Porter over here. We brought in Junior Seau. We brought in a lot of players, right? The Dominican Sues. You could go down the line. Some of them players, like me, I'm a Jarvis Landry fan. I'm a Waddle fan. People love Tyreek. You got Tua. People love Tua, Dan Marino, and so forth. I think we get lost in the fact that we have favorite players and that we want to see them succeed and we want what's best for them. And I think we forget what the actual purpose of playing the sport of football. So that's why, I mean, I said over here, the Blitz pickup, right? We're going to try to fix people. I ain't going to say fix people. We want to change people's mindsets and look at it from more of a team perspective and not just a fan that just blindly just hope for the best. We want to be able, obviously you're going to hope for the best because you root for the team, but you also want to be able to point out their downfalls and their deficiencies, right? So what I mean by that, when let's just say when you play football, the purpose is to get the Super Bowl. We all know this, right? So there's only one team that wins the Super Bowl every season. Everyone knows this. However, that still don't change the fact that the main goal, the objective of every team going in the season, whether you think they were last place or they were first place, the season prior, still going into it, their objective is to win the game and win a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, right? So when we criticize this team and we criticize the players, you got people like me that are criticize the front office. Now we all know my brother Lou, like he don't like when people just criticize the front office and he put more of the ownership on the players and execution. I put ownership on the players and execution as well, but I criticize everyone. Stephen Ross, Chris Creer, Tom Garfinkel, Brendan Shore, the head coach, Mike McDaniel, the positional coach, Anthony Weaver, so on and so forth, right? We're not criticizing them or critiquing them, right? We're criticizing just so we could say or point out the bad things and we could just be, what do you call it? Scorned. Like we just want to be scorned. Like you just lost. You just want to be negative. We don't want to be negative fans. Right. The reason we point out what they can be better at and what we think they can improve on. Mike Best, shout out to you. What's up, family? What we think they can improve on is so our team could become better. Right? So if we're not winning Super Bowls, technically you could consider that as a failure. However, that's to the extreme. So let's break it down to like tiers. The first thing you would like to have, right, is you would like to have a team with a winning record. These are the first, like for the most part, if you have a winning record, you have a higher opportunity, a higher chance, right, to make the playoffs. Right? So if you're going in the season, because you know what are goals? Every team, they're going to say your goals are first, win your division, second, win some playoff games, third, win a Super Bowl. It should be in that order, right? And notice, make the playoffs is if you win your division, you automatically make the playoffs. So let's go through the steps. The first thing you do is, if you have a winning season, your chances of making the playoffs are extremely high. There's not too many teams. It happens sometimes, but there's not too many teams that makes the playoff without a winning season. You have those occasions, like I think it was the Falcons one year, and I think the Giants one year that they won their division with a losing record. Oh, you know what? A team, they went 7-9. Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals went 7-9, but they won their division, right? So they made it to the playoffs. True. Hold on. True Fin 3.
I was just trying to answer in the chat, but go ahead.
It was some personal issues. So he said he's gonna try his best to make it, but if he don't, trust me, what he's dealing with, everyone will excuse him for that. We're not even gonna trip on that one. So there are the exceptions to the rule to win. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals, they actually made the Super Bowl with a losing record, but guess what? What did I say? The first goal will be win your division. So they won a division. Sorry. Now, so for the most part, you want to have a winning record. I'll tell you like this, and everybody know me. I'm not really, even though I bring out numbers, I've always been the type of person to say I do not care about numbers. Right? Jess, I'll ask you a question, right? Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have a quarterback, right, that lead the league in passing yards, the league in completion percentage, and lead the league in average yard per catch? Or would you rather have a quarterback that's let's say always between middle of the pack in passing yards and all those categories, but he somehow always win 11 to 13 games a season? Which one would you rather have?
B.
B, the second one, right? Why? Yeah. Because what?
Winning games.
it comes with wins, right? So this is what I'm saying from my standpoint, right? Wins matter. Sorry, who that? Octane Genius. He said wins matter the most. Exactly. It's not all about the great numbers. Now, let's stop right there. Let's put a little bookmark right there.
Okay.
The chance of winning increases tremendously if you do have one of those quarterbacks that lead in yardage, that lead because he's been very efficient.
Right.
But I don't want people to get blind and say that that's all you need and he should be able to win. That's what happened when we have this great debate, how we've been having for the past week now, about how me and Lewis, our standpoint and how we look, our outlook on Dan Marino is like, bro, I get it. I understand he has everything, and now he did amazing for this team. We were just disappointed that it didn't come with the big wins. You know, we were disappointed that it didn't come with Super Bowls and the ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl, winning a big title. So that's I want to make that point extremely clear, right? So there you go. So your first thing, you come out, you win your division title, right? Jess, you might not know this offhand, right? But I want to ask you a question again.
Okay.
When the last time we won a division title?
Ugh.
I don't remember. I looked it up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 2002. I think so. You want to look that up for me while I'm doing that?
Look it up.
Yep. 2008. No, I don't think. Was it 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been 2008. Right. 2008. Thank you. The chat is on it. 2008. Our quarterback was Chad Pennington, right? I think their backup was they had Sam Castle. I think Castle was their quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. I know Brady got hurt. He was the Castle one of them. Because I think that's how Castle got paid, and he went to Kansas City, got that big contract for Kansas City because of that. Best chat ever. Facts. So that was the last time we won the division title, and you have what come with division titles? Home games.
Mm-hmm.
Every division title winner gets a home game, people. And go look at the record. What is the percentage of the home team winning in the playoffs? It's extremely high. I'm just gonna spoiler alert. It's extremely high, right? And yeah, that's right. 250. We both win 11-5. If I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the season that was Brett Favre at the Jets, and we had Chad Pennington that we got from the Jets? And then it was a winner take all that last game. The winner win the division and go to the playoffs, and the loser miss the playoffs. I believe that's what that was. I believe that was that year, and we had to beat Brett Favre to win the division title, which we said was going to be Aaron Rodgers was going to be Brett Favre 2.0, and he didn't even do it that well. So we gave him extra credit. Remember we were saying this? Aaron Rodgers is going to be Brett Favre 2.0. Y'all did this before. When they got a quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback from Green Bay, and y'all failed. So we saw this before. But yes, so this is why the sole purpose, what I want my team to do, I want my team to win. I want my team, the goal to be put winners on the field by any means, right? I don't care if you're winning ugly. We could be a running team. You could be a passing team. You could be a defensive team. Long as the formula bring forth wins. If the formula results into wins, I'm cool. I'm 100% cool. Eric, you are right. I went to that game. I remember going in. I think it was the second quarter. I think it was the second quarter. I'm always late, out chilling. Walking there. I'm walking. I think I had seats on like the 30-yard line. I had seats on like a 30-yard line. I walk in. The first play I see, Ed Reed pick it off, and I don't know if he took it to the house or not. Ed Reed picking. I think that was his second interception. That's the first play I seen when I walked in. I was like, man. But as a fan, I was able to witness a playoff game at home. Unfortunately, you know what, Jess? If you weren't born in the 80s, you didn't get the opportunity to at least.
I was going to say, when that happened, I was in middle school.
Right. You know what? 80s. Let me say early 90s. Let me say 80s or early 90s, right? If you weren't born in those days, you didn't even get to appreciate that. Because you might have been young and just going there with your family. I was going there because I was a big Dolphin fan. I understand this is our first home game in forever. Right?
Yeah.
And before that, the last playoff game, we had to go to Indianapolis and beat the Colts in Indianapolis. That's when Lamar Smith did his thing. That might have been the 2002 season. That when Lamar Smith ran for over 200 yards, and we beat them in double overtime. Game boy, that's a fact. 80s baby. So yes, I
was a baby during that time.
On board with the bomb. I do want people to understand. Yes, the purpose of the game, the purpose of us playing, and the purpose of us coming here and being upset and critiquing the team and going in and saying that's not good enough and saying they need to improve on that and saying we're going to keep it real with y'all is because unfortunately, even though we had a bunch of players we love, a bunch of players we enjoy watching, a bunch of players that brought excitement to this team, at the end of the day, they didn't reach the ultimate goal, right? Which is Super Bowls. But me, I feel young and that I missed. Unfortunately, right? Look at it from this standpoint, and I want you to think about this. You have other franchises that haven't won, right? Franchises don't win every time. But you know what putting a consistent winning franchise do? It increases your ability to win the big game. So let's name the teams that you see typically be in the playoffs year in and year out, don't have too big of a fall off, right? You have the Eagles, right? You have Baltimore Ravens. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You have the Rams, the Patriots. Unfortunately, Buffalo is there. Buffalo is as well, right? All these teams, for the most part, if you go back even 30 to 40 years, now I ain't gonna say 40, go back 30 years and come forward since we were born, these are the teams that we were used to seeing in the playoffs. The 49ers. I missed the 49ers. I'm sorry. The 49ers. You want to know what all those teams has in common outside of the Buffalo Bills? They've all won championships. They have. I can't say the Giants. My bad. Go back to the 90s. The Giants been putting in winning franchises in the 92. The Giants, right? Green Bay. I'm sorry, I missed Green Bay. Just think of the team that we are used to seeing in the playoffs. Used to seeing in the playoffs, and you could shoot them in, pencil them in for going to the playoffs for the most part. Even if they have down years, they bounce back. But they are consistently in the playoffs, and it's not a coincidence that all those teams have won a Super Bowl within a time frame that we haven't. So I want to have the mindset of forget only fall in love with players. How about those players that we love? They put on a consistent winner. Because if you're not winning Super Bowls every year, but you going to playoffs, guess what? Your chance of winning the Super Bowl is right there. And you might have that one season that everything go right for you. And you get to the ultimate goal. Octane Dean said, not Detroit ever yet. Dang. Minnesota either. But guess what? Detroit had a long layoff like we have. Minnesota had a long layoff like we had. Well, not that long because they had, they was going, they was what? The NFC Championship game with Randy Moss and Chris Carter. I think that was Dante Culpepper. Was it Dante Culpepper year or was it Randy Cunningham year? I think it was the Cunningham year when they went to the NFC Championship game. But I want to, Von Joe said, Eagles rest every 4 to 5 years. You see how that's not a 10-year span between playoff victories, playoff appearances? And that's all I'm saying. If you look at history, history teaches you everything. You just got to look at it and understand. It's crazy to me. No, Two-Fin fan. I'm talking about the year that they lost to the Giants when the Giants went to the Super Bowl. I don't remember when that was. I think the Kerry Collins team when Minnesota was blowing everyone out, but I think the Giants beat them like 38-7 or 38-14 or something like that. No, he said the Vikings. You think the Vikings won one in the 70s? No, they didn't, sir. Vikings never won one. Oh man, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I don't want to miss, However, so yes, I just want y'all to keep that in mind. Because it's easy for us to come here and say, oh, we don't like this, and we just want what's best for the team, right? It's easy for us to come on here and say this. But y'all know me. For the most part, I'll go do some homework, and then I'll bring y'all some facts to where y'all can understand where we coming from. Because I don't want y'all just coming here, listen to us, and think we just talking with emotions. So you can fact check everything that I said about the team that's winning the championship. They don't have those big fall offs. They don't have those huge droughts. They go, every team, they have their ups and downs, but it don't stay long. It's not sustainable to think that you're going to win a playoff game every 10 or 15 years and you're going to have opportunity to be a Super Bowl winner. It just not happen. Game Boy says, Tyler Hero parents met at the world premiere of Love and Basketball, Tony and the rest. Game Boy 305 is crazy, man. He's crazy.
I just want to say, as a fan, I want to experience that joy.
That's a fact.
Because, most of the chat knows I live in the Philadelphia area. So when they won, that shit was lit.
See,
I want to experience that joy.
And I feel for people like you, Jess, and people that are in other states.
Like, it's Eagles country around me. Everywhere I turn, they have banners in the windows, businesses, everything. Like, I want to experience that.
See what I'm saying? Can you imagine the fans of this team that is here for Dan Marino, right? There you go again. Another credit that I'm giving to Dan Marino. He's responsible for a large majority of the fan base that Miami have, because he went to Pittsburgh for college and they came over here as Dan Marino fans and they just stuck with the team, right? What I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so with the for people like y'all that are fans and y'all live in other states where that state their team wins Super Bowls, man,
you know how many times I walked through the city and they're like, "Go Birds," and I'm like, "Fuck." So you can't experience that kind of joy. Like, come on now.
That's what I'm saying. He said recently Eagles have been to the Super Bowl a lot. You want to know what also the Eagles have done? They've been to the playoffs a lot, even if they wasn't going to
I like Bon Joe's comment.
What did it say? You can highlight it.
I was not outside turning up, but I did. I will stand 10 toes on everything. I did go to the Eagles parade. I will say that on the live. I will say that I did go to the Eagles parade. because I want to experience the confetti being tossed
Going
around.
to fraternize with the ops is wow.
But I didn't wear Eagles gear. I was just outside.
You were still fraternizing.
And you wouldn't if you lived in a different city?
No, that wasn't my team.
You
I'm at the
goddamn
crib.
lie.
I'm
outside.
Man, don't try to make me a fake fan like you. Nah, you're not gonna put me in that category. Hey, listen, man, we got 24 y'all in the building. Please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to y'all hanging out with us on Friday. What I told you, Jess, they pulled in here a little bit late on Fridays. But listen, for the people that wasn't here for the beginning, and if y'all wondering, I want to show my support now. I want to show my support. TFTG.
Oh, not to that. Sorry. Yeah, shout out TFTG. I was giving a thumbs down to Game Boy's comment here.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. You know,
so yes, TFTG. So if y'all wondering, anyone, just in case y'all were wondering, it's Friday, Mike. That's right. Mike, it's 24. It's Friday. You gotta know how to Friday.
It's Friday. People outside.
I got a video for y'all, man. Hold on. I got something for y'all real quick.
Aquavision, Big O, are you getting a visit from the TFTG crew? I have no idea what that is, bro. That went right over my head. Anybody want to fill me in on what the hell do I not know? I don't know what the hell is the TFTG crew is, my brother. You got me there, my man. I'm sorry. I could not pick up on that one.
I'm just helping. I'm just helping out the world figure out who TFTG is. I'm doing my part as a fellow YouTuber with a channel. Listen, man, we support everyone over here.
It's a small channel supporting small channel.
Apparently that's how we got to make it out here. Apparently, oh man. Yo, but yeah, man, listen, True Fit fans say, yeah, y'all hit the like button. Facts, man. But listen, what I was saying, what was I? Oh, so yes, so listen, the great ones, they don't miss on they don't miss out on the playoff. They typically be in there consistently. And maybe not every year, but you could know that they're going to be in there for the most part. Now, I got a couple of things to understand. Let's get to another level, right? Let's get to another level. Winning AFC championship, let's say win your conference, having a winning record, and making the playoffs on a more of a consistent basis. Give you an opportunity. I wrote down some teams, right? Remember I gave y'all a couple of teams? Let me go back. Right. Let me show y'all something about the Patriots. Why it's consistent. The Patriots, right? They have Bledsoe. Why they had Bledsoe, they drafted Tom Brady, right? Why they had Tom Brady, they drafted Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett. All while they had Tom Brady. I want to show y'all a pattern here, right? They bought in after that. They bought in Cam Newton as a starter. They bought in Matt Jones, and now they have Drake May. That's the Patriots. These are those quarterbacks during this time that the Dolphins was, not too hot, right? And what I'm saying that for? Because the great teams, the team that's typically in the playoffs year in and year out, they know what they're doing. They understand the importance of having a quarterback that could get the job done. They know that's the most important position on the football field. So, they got Drake and Milton. I see the little fan making me not miss nothing, right? 49ers. They had Joe Montana. They had Steve Young. They had Todd Dittmer, Jeff Garcia, Ken Dorsey, Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick. They brought in Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy.
Jimmy G.
These are the quarterbacks that they have taken. They may have some more within there, but these, I'm just giving you names because actually we know Sam Darnold was there before also, right? Kansas City Chiefs, right? They had Joe Montana, Rich Gannon, Elvis Goback, Trent Green. They did bring in Matt Castle. They had Alex Smith. They obviously Patrick Mahomes. These are the Kansas City quarterbacks within that time frame. You know what I'm saying? I'm going somewhere with this. The Eagles. You remember they had Rodney Peete, they had Bobby Hoyer, I'm sorry, McNabb, Kevin Kolb, Michael Vick, Vince Young, Nick Foles, Mark Sanchez, Sam Bradford, Carson Wentz, and Jalen Hurts. Y'all see these quarterbacks, right? These are those franchises. And what do all those franchises have in common? They typically always in the playoffs for the most part, consistently, right? Jess, I need you to do me a favor. I want to ask you a question now.
What's up?
Can you name me at least 5 or 6? I name out like 5 or 6 on each team. 5, 6, 7, 8, however you want to ask. Of the quarterbacks the Miami Dolphins brought in since Dan Marino.
Fielder, Culpepper, Pennington, Tannehill.
Oh, Tannehill.
Like Tannehill during
That's
that time.
5.
Isn't that crazy?
Right.
I liked him in the beginning. Trying to give him a chance.
That's crazy. You know, you forgot Cleo Lemon. You forgot we bought in Trick Green as well. We bought Sage Rosenfeld. We bought God dog, who am I missing?
Somebody it's a really long list.
Somebody Joey Harrington. Second round quarterback John Beck. Who else? Like we bought
Matt Moore was here, wasn't
Matt Moore. You said Tannehill. Fitzpatrick, yes. You know,
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. Josh Rosen, Vonjo. Now, if y'all go back,
I hate it.
If y'all go back, right, and think about the quarterback that I named, right? Think about on all them teams, how many of those quarterbacks left and became a starter somewhere else. And then go see how many of the Dolphins quarterbacks could do this. So what I'm showing you is those teams was bringing in talented quarterbacks year in and year out. Even when they had their guy, they were still bringing in talented quarterbacks. And even if they missed on one, they brought in another talented quarterback. Remember, Alex Smith was there before Patrick Mahomes. Remember that. Remember Tom Brady was there. They had Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Castle. Both of them left and became starters elsewhere. Matt Castle in Kansas City. Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl with the 49ers. The Eagles went from Donovan McNabb. They brought in Vic. They brought in matter of fact, they had Carson Wentz. Right?
Yeah.
They got up for Carson Wentz when they got Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Like, let's get it. I'm sorry. These teams, they don't typically miss. They break. We gotta mention Tom Brady? They had Drew Bledsoe, but they still bought in Tom Brady. Now, a lot of people say they got lucky, but they still bought in quarterbacks. And when you evaluate it, they became winners. Now, some of it take luck, some of it take talent. However, what I'm showing you is their choice at quarterback helped them out tremendously. And they didn't stop even when they thought they had the guy in the building.
Oh, yeah, Nick Foles in the comments.
Nick Foles, I think I said
forgot about him.
I said Nick Foles. Nick Foles was the quarterback that won when Carson Wentz went down.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
I forgot another team. The Rams. They drafted Jared Goff first overall. Didn't he go first, number 1 overall? They got rid of him and brought in Matthew Stafford. Was it good enough? Got a Super Bowl out of that. So all I'm saying is, when we come out here and we say, let's go to our quarterbacks now, right? We come out here and we say, quarterback is the most important position. This is what I was talking about. Now, before I get to that, because you know what, Jess, you got another topic for me, and I want to skip. I want to let you do your job. Can you please give us our second topic, please? Unless you want to elaborate on this part first.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. No, we can move on. That's fine. Because you're talking about games and winning games and like all that kind of stuff. So that kind of leads into, was Brian Flores right about this franchise?
Exactly, and I wanted you to say that for one specific reason. Because I'm not excusing. We all know, some people don't like the way he handled it. Some people do like the way he handled it. But just because you don't like the way he talked, don't mean the message was incorrect. And one thing stuck out to me, what Brian Flores said, and I'm like, man, he might have been correct the whole time. Even if we were not offended, even if he was wrong when he said it, and even if him saying that got him fired. But I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but Brian Flores, when he had got into it, oh, great point, True Fin fans. Redskins drafted RG3 and Kirk Cousins in the same year. Brian Flores told Stephen Ross and Chris Greer, he was like, you want to know what's the one constant with the failures of this franchise? Y'all two.
Bing bong.
That's what he said. Now, if my buddy Lewis is here, he'll want to spend more time on the players and the execution. That is true. That is 100% true. It will never not be true. However, I just gave y'all these franchises, right, that had players in the building, but they still did not stop bringing players in. Now, one argument we always have when our, let's say, GM or our front office fails is, what we want them to be perfect. And I'm like, no, because even the great ones, Lewis pointed out the failure of my boy, God dog it, the Eagles,
Jalen Hurts.
No, the Eagles, GM. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But he liked to point out the failures of. I think he picked somebody over Justin Jefferson. Forgot who the dude he brought in over Justin Jefferson. He missed on that. That was a miss. The good ones missed. All the GMs passed up on Lamar Jackson.
Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All the GMs passed up on Lamar Jackson. Majority of the GMs passed up on Randy Moss. Right? So our GMs don't have to be perfect. But you know what? The difference between winning franchises is them GMs don't let their mistakes linger around for too long. They understand, I made a mistake. Now it's time to move past this. It's time to fix it. So I will hope that the GMs in the front office understand, but you got to fix it. Now, I don't know if y'all seen the thumbnail, right? But I want to show y'all something. And the reason I made a thumbnail like that, I had Don Shula and Jimmy Johnson. I think you could add in Dave Wanstead, but I'm not sure. No, he didn't. But Don Shula and Jimmy Johnson, right? Both of them had Dan Marino at quarterback. Neither one of them won a Super Bowl with him. Now, that's not all on the coaches. That's not all on Dan Marino. Then I also had Brian Flores and Mike McDaniel. Both of them had Tua. And up until this point, neither one of them could win a playoff game with him. Right? But in between those times and to the day, I showed y'all the type of QBs that we brought in. So even if our quarterback goes down, we don't have a serviceable backup. Now you win by player execution, but we also need you to bring in the players that can execute at a high level. You can't expect players to execute at a high level if you're not bringing those type of players in. Why are we bringing these type of players in that challenge each other? Competition. And even if you bring it in, don't get this misconstrued as me saying, oh, bringing a guy that could challenge your number one quarterback for his start position. No, because winning franchise doesn't do that. For the most part, Tom Brady got his opportunity because Drew Bledsoe got injured. Right? Aaron Rodgers got his opportunity because Brett Favre, they was willing to move off him. But they kept Brett Favre in the starting lineup until he got done. So don't misconstrue it as me saying, oh, bringing somebody to challenge this stuff. No, that's not how it happened. Y'all remember the greatest show on turf? Y'all do know who was orchestrating that greatest show on turf before Kurt Warner, right? It was Trent Green. Kurt Warner got his opportunity because Trent Green got injured. But they still had Kurt Warner on the roster. So now when he went down, that quarterback went in and they ain't miss a beat. Ooh, he's younger. He's Trent Green. Move off. Yeah, sometimes it takes luck. But you know how? I don't believe in luck. I believe in being ready when the opportunity presents itself. That's what I consider luck. You have to be ready when the opportunity presents itself. So as a franchise, if you have an opportunity to go get a great guy, I don't care if the guy in front of him is better than him, you don't miss out on that opportunity. I'm sorry. These are what the great franchises do. They always take advantage of the opportunity when it's presented to them. Now they're going to miss on some of them, but that's why you take a risk. It's all about taking risks. The most successful people, they tend to take the most risk. So if y'all not willing to take the most risk, are we really trying to get a winning franchise? Or we just hope everyone we bring in the building do the best and have the greatest career? Reality, people, is understanding that those players, just because you bring them in, that don't mean they're going to have the greatest career. You're going to have people in here that you love them. You love the way they play, but they just not working for this team. So we might have to move off of them. Great point, True Fan Fan. He said undefeated Dolphins win most games with Earl Monroe, won most games with Earl Monroe when Greasy broke his ankle. People forget about that. People forget about that. Bob Greasy was injured. Earl Monroe orchestrated most of those wins. Didn't skip a beat. Now that team was built more on the running game. But you know what? I forgot the third running back. Y'all know it was a three-headed monster? Do y'all know that? It wasn't only Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris. There was Larry Zonka, somebody that remember that 72 team. Tell me the backup running back behind Zonka, because Mercury Morris was on the bench first. He was the third string running back. He was young. And Don Shooter had to make it a three-way kick. That's his name. Larry Kick or something like that. Thank you. Truth and Fan, he's a historian. A lot of people don't know this about that Dolphins team. It was three of them. Jim Kick. There you go. It was three. It wasn't two. His team was predicated on having a dominant running game. So he had three running backs. Three of them that could get the job done. But y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't know y'all history like that. Now, even if y'all young, I understand that. But I was born in 84. I went back and looked at the history and tried to study what were they doing to be successful. They had players in the building to where the fall off or the drop off wasn't so severe. Now it's hard to do that at quarterback. Yes, it is. And it's not every team that does that. But what I realized, right? He said, Tone, who got you yelling? Cause it's listen, man, this team and my passion for how I want our team to move and be successful. Because I understand, y'all know what it is. You miss every shot that you don't take. You do. You miss every shot that you don't take. So every time you have an opportunity to get a player, even if you have a starter and a solidified starter in that position, don't pass up on them so easily. I'm sorry. And then you might luck up and get a Tom Brady in the 7th round. You might luck up and have Buffalo trade you so you could go get Patrick Mahomes, even though you got Alex Smith that you won division titles with and playoff games with. You might luck up and give away 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance, but get a Brock Purdy as Mr. Irrelevant. You might. You know what I'm saying? But you can't quit. I think who was the quarterback? Was it Bart Starr? I don't know who it was before Green Bay. But for the last part, they had franchise quarterback after franchise quarterback. Think about Green Bay. They went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now Jordan Love. All them quarterbacks brought them playoff victories. All of their quarterbacks in that quarterback regime, playoff victories. I'm trying to think about Pittsburgh, because I know they had Cordell Stewart. They won playoff games with them, right? Obviously Big Ben. I'm trying to see who else between. I'm drawing a blank who else between them. But for the most part, those franchises, they don't stop. They bring players in. They have contingency plans. Whether you meant to do it or not, that's what they have. This is what they bring in. And us as a fan base, I think we need to change our mindset. I think we need to understand when we root for this team, it should be team first. And then if the players represent what we want from a team, then we could be fans of those players. But I'm not going to be a fan of a player if, as long as he's doing his job and he getting his stuff, he's doing his numbers, and he's looking good, he could care less if the team's winning. And I'm not saying, because every player, the better they do, the higher the chance of the team being successful. But you know you have those players that even if we just a little bit successful, but I'm doing amazing, I'll accept that. I don't want those kind of players on this team. I don't. I want a franchise and a front office, right? This is what I'll put on the front office. This is what I'll put on Stephen Ross, Chris Greer, Brandon Shore, Tom Garfinkel. Stop accepting mediocrity or mediocrity, whichever way you say that word. Stop accepting that. Why don't we raise the standards? Why don't we demand greatness from day one? And what I don't like is once we hit a mark, i.e., making the playoffs, why are we satisfied with that? I didn't do this. I should have did this homework. I just thought about it right now. I want to know how many franchises that end up winning the Super Bowl, how many of them do not win their first playoff game when they go there.
Interesting.
I know Peyton Manning didn't. Drew Brees did. I think he did win his first playoff game in New Orleans. They didn't I don't think they made the playoff when he was in San Diego. But for the most part they do, because I know Tom Brady won his first playoff game. No, Brett Favre, I think he won his first playoff game. Even Dan Marino. No, Dan Marino lost his first playoff game. Sorry. He wasn't the starter that whole season, but he lost his first playoff game. But yeah, for the most part, once you get that team and you become successful and you sniff success, I think Marino, his first true fan, his first full starting season, which was 84, yeah, he won. But he lost to I think his first playoff he lost to Seattle in 83. Now he wasn't the starter that 4th season, but he did start, and he lost to Seattle in '83. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. As a rookie, that was as a rookie. But yes. So for the most part, when them teams strike and they get that team, they put it together, they're gonna win at least 1 or 2 playoff games, and be like, okay, we're gonna build on this. And then the next level is what happened. And for the most part, all of the good teams in the AFC, quarterbacks are in the AFC. Man, look here. Nah, cat in the hat. He went to the Super Bowl his rookie year. No, he didn't. We lost in the first round of the playoffs his rookie year. But he wasn't the starter for the beginning of the season. 84 is when he went on that Super Bowl run. 84, cat in the hat. See, there you go. True fifth and say you're right. Yeah. And you know what? You know what? The last thing that I'm gonna say about this, before I gotta address my family over there at TFTG, because I saw the shots. I know y'all ain't think I was gonna let y'all slide off with that. I saw the shots. And it's all love, just so you know, it's all love. You want to know what else those franchises tend to have? A culture. You understand what type of players play for that franchise? These are facts. I'm sorry. So, Jess, I got one more question before I go to the my
What's up?
Topic. Which one would you rather have?
Okay.
A team with the most Hall of Famers, right? I'm saying going forward now.
Going forward now, okay?
Or a team that don't have no more Hall of Famers, but you only get to see 1 Super Bowl in your lifetime.
Oh. I'm gonna go with B.
Win. They gotta win it though. They'll win it.
Yeah, it's B for me because the win is a win. If we have a whole bunch of Hall of Famers and no win, then that doesn't mean anything for me.
And the reason I'm glad you usually a player. You know that Ramsey. We were talking about Ramsey. We were talking about Dan. Listen, you know you was in the field a little bit.
I still love Ramsey, but okay.
So there you go. So, and I said that to say this. Me as a Dolphin fan, I'll root for this team so we could get the championship, so we could get the Super Bowls. And I know, like I was saying earlier in the show, I know typically the teams that win the Super Bowls are the ones that are consistently going to the playoffs. You don't rely on just hitting lightning in the bottle. I'm catching lightning in the bottle. The more times you go, the higher your percentage is to winning a Super Bowl. So all I'm saying is, I would rather, like you said, I would rather if we don't have no gold jacket players, but we get to win a Super Bowl. Again, let me throw this out here, a disclaimer. If you have Hall of Famers on your team, the percentage of you winning the Super Bowl increases because great players are the ones that carry to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, you know, that don't guarantee you a Super Bowl, but a great team do. It's hard to build a great team. So now let me get into my last topic. You know my last topic, Jess? I know I threw this on you last.
Yeah. I just, you know, who the hell is TFTG? Because apparently they're not known.
Hold on. Listen.
Don't want to make you spit out your water.
First of all, shout out to TFTG. You know, I know if y'all don't, it is funny. I played the video for y'all. The boy was disrespecting TFTG, but hey, we rock with him. TFTG, the family. You know, welcome to the. You know, we shout out. We always have back and forth, right? Ooh, Joe Gibbs had 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. Great point. True Fifth fan is a historian. Listen, I saw y'all rebuttal with the Dan Marino takes, right? So let me clear that up. Clarify this right now. because he was saying that our takes, he understands that we prefer Super Bowls over Hall of Famers, right? Cool. I get that. But what I want to say is the point that I was trying to make to you guys is she ready? The point I was trying to make to you guys is just because you have the best. No, let me say this. This is gonna hurt a few feelings. To me, I don't think Dan Marino was the best quarterback during his era. I think Dan Marino was the most talented quarterback. I'm gonna say that again. I do not think he was the best quarterback during his times. I know a lot of them, his peers said he was the standard. I think he was the most talented quarterback during his era. To spin that ball, throw it like no other. All of his other contemporaries would want to throw that ball like Dan Marino, would want to have that arm strength. But see, when I say best quarterback, which means to me, you have to be at your best when the team needs you the most. To me, you have to be at your best in the playoffs and in Super Bowls. So to me, for him to become the best, I see a lot of people call him the GOAT. I got a question for everyone that calls him the GOAT. Can you give me one GOAT that don't have no championship in any sport? KP said Joe Montana was the best. Dan Marino was by far the most talented quarterback playing the sport of football during that era. I don't care if you talk about Joe Montana, John Elway, Jim Kelly, Drew Bledsoe's, all of them that he played against. Brett Favre of the real. Yes. All I'm saying is he was the most talented. That don't make him the best. Because the best, even if he failed, because I see Mike Best comment, even if he failed, he should have still played at his absolute best. Go back and watch, I don't know what game it was, either the 92 or the 95 game, or watch both of them. When we played against Buffalo. Buffalo was up, they came out. Our defense gave up 2 scores back-to-back drive. They was up 10-3. Either 2 or 3 scores back-to-back, but I think it was 2. Right? Our defense got 3 consecutive stops. And I think we got either 0 or only 3 points out of those. While you down in a playoff game, I think we was home to the division rivalries. You score 3 points on 2 consecutive stops.
I just wanted to highlight that for you.
Hot take, Tony and Justin Herbert so far is the modern day Dan Marino. Justin Herbert has to win playoff games, sir. I know we like to troll him, but Justin Herbert has to win playoff games to be considered the modern day Dan Marino. You can say Joe Burrow, and everyone know that's my favorite quarterback. But right now, Joe Burrow is trending to be the modern day Dan Marino. Because he's putting up all the numbers. He made a Super Bowl in his first full complete season starting, and he made an AFC championship game to follow that up. Same way Dan Marino did. But unfortunately, I got to keep the same energy. Joe Burrow teams have missed the playoffs the past 2 seasons. So he might, because I think Dan Marino, after them 2 runs, I think our team missed the playoffs the next 4 seasons. I think people don't remember that either. Our team missed the playoffs. I think the next 4 after Dan Marino went to the AFC Championship game, I think we missed the playoffs 4 seasons in a row. So Justin Herbert, not the modern day Dan Marino, it's Joe Burrow. And listen, that's my favorite quarterback. I'll tell you about his accolades, but you still got to get it done, my brother. See, look, Marino missed playoffs from 86 to 90. I'm telling y'all, bro, go do your homework. True Fit fan, he ain't missing. Hey, hold on. You know what? True Fit fan be on it, bro.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Yo. So all I'm saying is, right, for us to reach that next level, we have to understand that yes, you increase your ability of winning the biggest game by having, for the most part, the best quarterback. Notice I said best quarterback and not most talented quarterback. Because Patrick Mahomes is way more talented than Jalen Hurts. But on the field, and I would dare to say that in both of their Super Bowl games, Jalen Hurts was the best quarterback on the field in both of those games. And he's not more talented than Patrick Mahomes. This is a lie. I hate when people come say the lie. The running game, I give you. Defense, no. Defense. Dan Marino had 6 top 12 defense, 2 top first defense, and 4 of them was in the top 10. 6 top 12, 4 top 10s, 2 of them was number 1 overall defense. And in one season, they was the number 1 overall, but they was 3rd, I think, or 4th in scoring defense. But in the other season, they was number 1 overall and number 1 scoring defense. They gave up only 16.1 points a game. That was 1998. And then the other one, when they was 4th overall, what year was that? I think it was 80-something. 87? 89 or 90? No, it wasn't 90. 87, I think it was. Number 1 overall defense, and they was only giving up 16.1 point a game. Please stop with the lies. We keep it real over here. We're going to be honest. This is all about making our team better, not making excuses. Excuses don't make you better. They don't. They enable you. However, good. You're right. But go look at that 92, I think, or 93 game again, 93 or 94, one of them game when they jumped out on us 10-zip. That defense held them. They stopped them. You know what? I think this was the trend. They stopped them 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row. One of them, and on one of them, Dan Marino went 3 and out. He punted the ball. Not Dan Marino. I'm sorry. The offense punted the ball twice in a row. And then he turned around after they made them pump, threw an interception. No. I'm talking about 90s. Not Dan Marino was the old 90s. He threw an interception. And they I don't know if it was a pick 6, but they scored on that. And then I think either the next drive or the 2 drives after that, that's when they hit him with that the fumble that they returned for a touchdown. And that's how Buffalo went up. They was up like 27-3 at that point, and game was over. But I would ask, why is our offense that's supposed to have been that explosive only had 3 points for 3 quarters? We're not making excuses. We're going to get these teams better. We're going to hold each other accountable. So all I'm saying, right, to finish off my point about Dan Marino, he was great. He was a great quarterback. But don't confuse us saying that what he didn't bring us championships for saying we want to win or hope to win with a mediocre quarterback. No, I want you to continue to try to get the best quarterback available. Every time, get the best quarterback available. Let me say that one more time for the TFTG fan. Every time, not even the best quarterback available, the best player available, including the quarterback. Because having the best quarterback or player in whatever position increases your chances of winning. But what I don't want people to do is mistake most talented for best. That's 2 different things. Because you could be the most talented quarterback or player, but when the lights come on, if you don't show up, it's no good for us. It isn't. Tom Brady was the best player. Every time, for the most part, he took the field. But when he played the Giants, Eli Manning was the best quarterback on the field. I'm sorry. I don't even think Eli Manning lost to Tom Brady. He may only lost to one, but I think he's undefeated against Tom Brady. Or 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. I think Eli Manning is like 4-1 against Tom Brady. Because when you go face them guys, he was the best quarterback on the field. Now, all I'm saying is, when we need you, I want you to play your best. And if they don't, then stop making excuses. That's not going to make them better. That's not going to help them improve. Critiquing them is what makes them better. Pointing out their flaws is what makes them better. The Patriots had a defense as well. Stop it. Miss me with that. Patriots always had a defense. But you know what? It seemed like Eli Manning handled that great Patriots defense better than Tom Brady did with the Giants. The Eagles had a great defense too. But it seemed like Nick Foles handled that Patriots defense better than Tom Brady did to the Eagles. Kansas City had a great defense last year, but it looked like Jalen Hurts handled that great Kansas City defense better than Patrick Mahomes dealt with the Eagles defense. Go back and look at the season that Patrick Mahomes had last year, and you tell me if he wasn't carried by that defense. Yeah, he was throwing to receivers like Manningham, David Tyreek. Those are Mario Manningham, David Tyreek. Who else? I forgot the rest of them, but they won your household names. So everyone that tells me, this is what y'all do. When y'all tell me, and I don't want to bash them, but don't tell me about a great defense and then turn around and be the same people that point out how he carved up that historic defense of the 85 Bears. Was he right about them having a historic defense then? We just carving them up? No, he wasn't. Plaxico Burress, that's good. No, he wasn't. I don't like when people lie. Victor Cruz is another one. I don't like when people lie to make it look better than what it is. You still have to play good against those. Somebody give me, how do y'all think the number one defense win the championship every year? Those teams get beat too. The Buccaneers had a way better defense than the St. Louis Cardinals. They were the St. Louis Rams at the time, the greatest show on turf. But in that NFC Championship game, I think the Rams. Somebody look up that championship game against St. Louis Rams and the Tampa Bay. I think they won that 11-5. Somebody double check the score. 11-5. Sometimes you just got to play better than the other person on the other side. The number one defense doesn't always win championships. So all I'm saying is, unfortunately, it is a great help. Like the 2000, that defense was crazy for the Ravens, and then the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that defense was crazy. But for the most part, the number one ranked defense don't win a Super Bowl every year. Best defense with a running game, they do run a lot. I will give you that, two-fin fan. But in modern day football, outside of the Eagles, I don't think a top 5 run offense won a Super Bowl either. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a top 5 running game when he won the Super Bowl. The Rams, Matthew Stafford, didn't have a top 5 run game when they won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady, they didn't have a top 5 running game when they won a Super Bowl. Not modern day, no. So all I'm saying is, let's raise our standards. So no, back to finishes off. Shout out to the family. You know, it's still the fam. Rocking out with y'all. But my especially you, El Cap. Just because we say that the way he performed wasn't good enough doesn't mean do not ever confuse us with people that don't understand the dynamic it takes and the what it takes to win championships. We understand the importance of having a great quarterback. Yes. That's why we don't want them to settle for the ones that don't get it done. I.e., I'm the biggest component of why did we give Tua an extension? Talented. Had the ability to lead the league in passing yards. But can you get it done? Now the jury is still out on him. I mean, we already, said we saw enough. But hey, he still had the opportunity to play football. But I don't want our team, our franchises settling because that's the best they had since people like Cleo Lemon. People like Ryan Tannehill. So what? They the best we've seen since that trash we had. It's still not good enough. I think they're equally difficult, right? They're equally difficult, but I think you have more opportunities to build the team because the more players than to get that elite quarterback. Because for the most part, you have to be really, really bad to get that elite quarterback. So I would edge it and say it might be more difficult to get a elite quarterback than it is to build a team, I think. But for the most part, they're both difficult. Right.
I think you need to have a great team to have an elite quarterback too that plays.
You don't have
you could have a great quarterback, but if the rest of your team sucks, your quarterback's ability is not going to shine the same way.
Right. You know what? I'm so glad you said that, which brings me to a point that I want to bring up. Grab that elite quarterback. He's going to show you elite with or without a great team. And then you build around him. You build around because you could win with quarterbacks that win in spite of way more often than you could build with win with a quarterback that is dependent on his team to be better than everyone else. I'm not gonna lie. With the talent that Dan Marino had, he should have won Super Bowls because he should have overcame some of those the deficiencies of the team. Especially when I go back and watch a game that you're in playoffs at home and you're down 10-7 and your team gives you an interception and you don't score on that drive. He could have. And we should hold our team and the players on this team to a higher standard. I'm sorry. I would prefer our team don't hold no one on a pedestal until they show you the ability to get the job done. I do not blame our franchise for Dan Marino because you cannot tell me that you're going to walk away from a guy that you clearly has the best abilities, clearly is the most talented, strongest arm, and when it came to talent, was light years over majority of the people in the league. And that guy took you to a Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game. But I would ask you this, like we would ask about any other player or coach in any other position. How long is too long? How long are you going to hold out hope for a guy that you believe in, but he hasn't got it done? Because you can have some people say, well, it took John Elway like 10 years before he got his. Well, it took Matt Stafford 14 years before he got his, or 12 years before he got his. Right. So that's the anomaly to me. But for the most part, if they don't get it done within that time frame, you might consider moving on. So, I'm sorry. Listen, man. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all giving pushback in the chat. Listen, it's still 33 of y'all in the building. Shout out for y'all for rocking out with us on a Friday. We know y'all pregame over here on Friday. We expect y'all to be here late. Hey, we usually late, so we run it come hand in hand. If y'all haven't hit the subscribe button, please help us get to that 600. We was at 587. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button. What else? Yeah, and get the team to 600. I rode to 600. Can we get to 600 before the season? Y'all try to get us 600 before the season, man.
Can we get to 600 before training camp starts?
Nah, training camp is right around the way. I mean, that would be great. That would be amazing. Go. You know what? Stop settling for less, right, Jess? Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Before training camp. Before training camp. Somebody said something that I wanted to address. It's no disrespect to Matt Stafford, but he won on the super team. I would like to point out. Ooh, he said 16 years. God, dog. I would like to point out that Matt Stafford did have that team was put together. However, I say this about every quarterback. It's going to come a time when you are going to have to make plays. You are going to be the guy that have to make them plays. And in that Super Bowl, y'all remember, he needed a game-winning touchdown to win that game. And he went to Cooper Kupp, even though they know he was going there. But he delivered. And you want to know what's different between that Matthew Stafford? Because he had an opportunity. I want y'all to remember, he was down, 5 points against the Philadelphia Eagles with the ball in his hands. And all he had, you remember he missed he had fourth down. What it was, 4th and 8, I think it was. All he had to do was make that throw. The guy was wide open. He missed him. He folded. So even with the team, as a quarterback, you still have to make that play. There's going to be plays that have to be made. They could have beat Philly that year. They would have been playing the Washington Commanders for the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, but he missed it in the clutch moment. With all that talent, number 1 overall pick, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Y'all know Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford, my 2 favorite quarterbacks. But he folded when they needed him the most. These are facts. But listen, still 35 of y'all. We about to get up out of here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get. Listen, just said before training camp. Y'all got 3 weeks. Matter of fact, 2.5 weeks before training camp. We only 17 away? No. 17 away. No, 13. I'm sorry. We 13 because it was 587, right? Yo, can we get 13 more subscribers before training camp? Listen, I want y'all to show everybody. Call your friend, call your cousin, call your uncle, call everyone else. Tell them to subscribe to the Blitz Pickup. Shout out to the chat. Listen, y'all know I'm always giving y'all credit because y'all stand on y'all square. Y'all stand on y'all square whether y'all disagree or not. But these are the conversations that we need to have because if we can't be honest with each other, we are not going to push each other to get better. And that's what I want for my team and my franchise. Jess, shout out to you. You know what? I want to say thank you to you for not crashing out on me when I started talking about Dan Marino.
I wasn't crashing out on you today. Maybe on Monday. Who
and
knows?
Listen, before y'all get out of here, make sure y'all send prayers up to Lou. He's dealing with some stuff, so prayers go up to Lou. He should make a for sure. We're gonna speak that in existence that he is gonna make a return back, and everything is gonna be good. But listen, since Lou ain't here for Jess, I don't want to make Jess look like she's a rough a hood. I don't know what to do from the hood. So I'm gonna say for my boy Lou, that revolver don't jam. Y'all know what to put in the chat. Bang, bang, bang. We out of here.